happened to your window?
So, these things speaker box. Want a demo? It gets down.
Not if it's gonna put glass in the parking lot.
It shouldn't. It's been blowing like this for a couple weeks. It gets down.
Well, it also blew your back window out.
You should get along great. You both have FCs. You both have EG hatches.
I think, have you guys met?
I'm Jeremy.
Kayam. I don't think we have.
They're gonna hear me talk about the French.
It's okay.
It's okay, I'm part French. I'm on mom's side. It's currently after 7 p.m. Guess who's still here? All of us. Big sand, guys. Except not actual sand. Unless you got pocket sand. And you know, shisha! The viewers at home watch King of the Hill, they'd understand that reference. It's a foam block.
Foam on there?
Some 400. And then we sand. And then we sand some more. And then we keep sanding. And then when you think you're done, you're not. You sand some more. Take a break. Get back to it. And then when you think you're done, you're not actually done. You sand some more. And then you might be done.
Killed it. 180. Then I gotta do it again. And then I gotta do it again.
Guide coat, 180. Guide coat, 320.
And the same thing with 400.
In case you're wondering, this is guide coat. So it's in polyester primer, then I put guide coat on it, and then sand 180, 320, 400. In between each one, the guide coat goes on. So it's basically just a way to, well, it does exactly what it says, guide coat. It guides where you have to sand.
You guys do your thing. Sand away.
God bless Jack. And Matt did it last week, so God bless Matt too. I know what this is. Get your Matt Brown t-shirt. I'll put the link in the description below. I'll also put the link for like 1945 merch as well. But super stoked for Matt that he got his own t-shirt. I'm heading over to Caprara's to check out the spray out that they did for Max's wagon. We're doing like a Porsche 356 color. It's kind of like a, I don't want to say, I guess it's sort of like a slate blue color. It's pretty cool. So I will show you what the spray out looks like. And then you're gonna see it on the car very soon, which I'm really excited about. So this is the color. It's called Aquamarine Blue. Body and doors are ready for color. Jack and Matt are just finishing up some seam sealing.
Hot.
Hot?
Had a chai latte this morning. I don't go to Dunkin' Donuts anymore, but I did this morning. You know, I think there's a reason why I don't go to Dunkin' anymore. Kinda, I don't know.
Makes you warm?
I mean, yeah, but it just wasn't that great.
Is it like the caffeine is?
No. In fact, I think I'm gonna drink a Red Bull here in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Dying.
I just got a call from my friend Jeremy over at Caprara's Auto Body, and Max's wagon is painted. So we do all of the metal work, all of the prep work, all of the body work and blocking, and like that's the real time consuming thing. I've been having them spray our stuff. We've always done everything in-house as far as, you know, doing all the spraying and everything of all the cars that we build. For the restoration shop, the time is in the prep. The paint is a couple of days worth of work, where there's months and months and months of like prep to get it to paint. So anyways, I've been having them spray our stuff, and it's just, you know, it comes out awesome. Their booth is better than our booth, and it just works out. So I'm grateful for those guys for actually doing you know, doing this for us, because, you know, it does kind of put a little bit of a monkey wrench into their system. I mean, they're a production body shop that does collision work, just, you know, mainly just collision stuff. We don't do any collision stuff. We just do restoration stuff. There is a difference. If you ask any guy that works at a restoration shop, there's just a totally different process. Old cars, the body, you know, the bodies were never that straight. The gaps were never that good. So what we do is make everything like to, you know, modern standards. So like if you take an old car, some 60s car, and just, you know, put it together and paint it, you know, when you look at it, it's gonna, you know, you'd kind of think that there was something wrong with it or had a crappy paint job. It's not really the paint, it's just the body work. The body was never that nice, and like I said, the gaps are never that nice. So what we do is make all of that stuff like perfect to like today's standards. It wasn't really until probably the late 80s until cars started having nice finish, having like a nice gaps and so on and so forth. And it was really Japanese cars, you know, Hondas and Toyotas and stuff like that, that really kind of brought in a whole new kind of standard in the automotive industry when it comes to like fit and finish. So now we're just so used to seeing cars that look pretty good. But, you know, however, if you look at new trucks, the paint's not that good on them. You know, it's very orange peely and whatever. But, you know, I digress from that. But, you know, all I'm saying is I'm stoked to be going over to look at Max's wagon, because it's, you know, the amount of time that we've spent to make it perfect is a lot. And there's just, you know, it's gonna be exciting to see this thing finally in color. Really excited. Here we are. What band? I like the color a lot. I think
Much better in person.
so, yeah, looking at the spray out, you're kind of like, eh, but this is cool. So this is right out of the booth. There's, you know, obviously it has to still get denibbed and buffed, but I'm so excited. This is gonna be so good. These guys did a great job. You know, what makes the paint look really good is just the good body work that's under it, and it's, I'm really happy with how it's looking. Just this little section here was buffed.
Come over here, you see all the texture.
Yeah. So yeah, so there's some texture here, and then this is just the area that was cleaned up a little bit, just so we can see it. So the rest of it's gonna look like this. Thanks, Tony. This is all the hardware to put all the doors together, all the hinges, fuel door, just all these little things, like, you know, things like this. This is the spring for the gas door that holds it, you know, that holds it shut. You know, it's little things like that that nobody thinks of, but like that little spring had to be like prepped in order to put paint on it. So it's not like, you know, it had like overspray on it from the factory. So it's just a matter of like, okay, it still needs to be sanded down, it still needs to be primed and painted. So it's like there's just work into every little part of it. And it's like how it's come out. Everything is looking so good. All this little stuff. And then this is super tough, you know, during assembly. It's like, you know, you don't just jam a screwdriver into this thing. We like tape the screwdriver, so, you know, we try really hard not to scratch or wreck the paint in here. You know, as far as on here, I have sockets that have a little plastic insulator to go over this, so it's not metal on the paint itself. So it just, you know, there's a lot that goes into putting together a really nice assembled, restored old car to make it like that much better, you know. So literally can't just stick it on there with an impact driver and crank it down, because it'll ruin it. So just want to give you a little indication of the color in the sun. So Looks so good. It's tough to see, you know, inside the shop. Shops are usually pretty dark and they have fluorescent lighting, which doesn't really show paint off that good, but color is so good. I'm really excited to see this thing come together. Matt Brown and I are going to pick up the wagon from paint. This is really exciting. Are you excited, Matt?
I'm very excited.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome. It's been a lot of work. It feels like it's been forever since
It's been
started working on that thing.
My existence here at 1945 has
Yep.
been pretty much this wagon. So.
And now we're going to pick it up from paint.
Yeah.
Few things that we got to do, and then it can start to go on the chassis and we can start assembly. What do you think?
Looks awesome.
I agree. It totally looks awesome. So we got to bring it back to the shop, finish the firewall up, finish the underside. Typically the bottom of the car is what we do last. You know, obviously, like, this car didn't need floors or anything, but the bottom side of the car gets Raptor linered, and we do that last. Mainly just because if we Raptor linered it, then we have nothing to really stick tape to, because tape doesn't really stick to Raptor liner that great. So we do it so we can stick the tape to the body and then do the Raptor liner. It looks awesome. You happy with it?
Oh, I love it. It came out.
It did. I am driving home right now, but I am so psyched with how the paint came out on the wagon. Right now, Matt is finishing up the firewall. All the bodywork's done on that. It literally just needs, you know, to be, well, in the morning, he's got to seam seal it. And then when the seam sealer dries, it's gonna shoot it. So the firewall and the engine compartment of that car is gonna be like a semi-gloss black. So that's happening, and it's gonna go on the lift, and we can address what we need to address on the underside of the car, and then the body's going on the chassis. So really excited because we're gonna have, you know, the car on the frame sooner than later, and that means we can like get going on, you know, harness and assembly and everything that comes along with building a car. So really excited. Great job, Caprera's. The paint came out great, and to be completely honest, really great job, Matt and Jack. The bodywork on the wagon came out awesome. You know, that's what makes everything right. You can be an awesome painter, but if you have crappy bodywork, it's just gonna be shiny paint over some waves, and nobody wants to see that. So, but either way, everybody that was involved, applause. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Obviously, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribing. Have a great night, guys. See you later.